Thank you.
Thank you.
You're on the record with Fuse.
Yeah.
And I just want you to know, here at Fuse, you can say and do anything you want. We're into creative freedom
Nice.
and artistic liberation.
Yes.
So anything is open.
Well, that's nice. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you do your own makeup? Can you?
I can. I am able. Yes,
Yeah?
I'm capable. Years of theater training,
And why so much on the eyes?
I just like the way it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the guy liner.
Yeah, I just like it. It's a little different. It's my way of expressing myself, differentiating myself. I think it looks pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, were you into your mom's makeup?
Oh yeah. She hated me for that. I remember at one point she was like, "Adam, don't touch my stuff. That's mine." So finally she got me a little like theatrical makeup kit, like stage makeup, a little box, this little cardboard box, and I was a strange kid. I would play in my mirror after school with stage makeup and turn into an old man or like a werewolf or, a mummy or the Phantom of the Opera. Like I would do these like horror makeup things. And, I remember seeing Thriller for the first time and just being like obsessed with it.
'Cause there's this deadline night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike.
How old were you when you first saw Thriller?
I was probably like 8. And just like staring at the TV, being fascinated with it, and being totally obsessed with Halloween as well. So the two went really well hand in hand. So.
Well, yeah, you were Halloween 12 months a year.
Oh yeah, the Halloween box of costumes was always down out of the attic.
Right.
That took place of normal social behavior and friends. It's me and my mirror and my makeup.
I'm sure you had friends.
Later.
Later.
Middle school was kind of an isolated time. Yeah. I mean, the only social outlet I really had was theater, and it was one day a week. I was in a children's theater group on Saturdays. And that was really my social group. That was the one place where I felt like there were other kids like me and kids that were creative, and it was about what can you do when you get up on stage? And that was the validation that we all sought.
I mean, middle school is when you start to go, I'm gay.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much, yeah. 6th grade, like being like, oh, this is interesting.
I mean, what was the thing, the thought or the feeling that made you say, oh?
Being in the locker room in PE and kind of like enjoying the view, you know what I mean? It's in 6th grade and being like, oh, I'm wired a little differently, clearly. Okay.
Your influence list, Madonna, big influence, obviously.
Yeah, just like Michael Jackson, I think the two of them were kind of the king and queen, of pop. Later, like as I got older in like middle school and early high school, she was doing stuff that was really provocative, and I was fascinated by that because she was pushing everybody's buttons, and I think it resonated with me because I felt kind of different sexually, you know what I mean? And I knew that I was wired differently, and seeing somebody promote like alternative ideas and really put it out there, and also the female empowerment that she promoted was just as empowering to me because it was somebody taking what wasn't standard and glorifying it.
If you want it right now, make him show you how. Express what it's got, baby, ready or not.
Well, I mean, just reading back through your history, it seems like the most painless coming out that I've ever read about. Your parents seem to have vibed it before you said anything,
Yep.
and were cool about it.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they're really liberal. My parents are very cool. Dad, deadhead. My mom's Jewish American princess from Jersey. It's just like they're cool. They never got hung up on stuff like that, and I'm fortunate because a lot of people come from households where it's not okay.
Well, tell me about. I mean, your father finds you watching gay porn at 13.
Oh God, that story.
That story must be insane. Tell me that story.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just said to me, he's like, that's your business. That's okay. He didn't make me feel ashamed for it, which is actually pretty amazing, and that's a big deal. Because that was a scary, scary moment. I was discovered, my secret.
And your mom was a little more in denial, but still accepting?
I don't think she was in denial at all. I think she always, from what I've gathered from talking to her about it, she always knew. I mean, when I was playing in her makeup drawer, I kind of think, that was probably a tip. And I think that she just talked to some people that she knew, and the consensus was, don't push him, he'll come to you. It's funny too because this whole thing, like talking about coming out, it's like I don't even think about it anymore,
right.
Until all this started happening with my career. And it's interesting because now it's like, because I am open and visible, I suppose it is important to talk about it. you know. But the past 9 years of my life, I haven't thought twice about it. It's just who I am.
I mean, there are 14, 15, 16-year-old gay boys who can sing "Wanna Be You" in 10 years or what have you, who are watching and are like, you know, I hope that he does it right, you know, opens the lane for me so I can come next. So
That's a beautiful thing. I think that's a lot of pressure, first of all, and I think about it sometimes, and I'm like, wow, this, you know, all I wanted this to be was about the music, and now it is turning into a bigger thing. And I mean, when I auditioned for American Idol, I remember my first audition, they said, well, you're really theatrical, and they were kind of on the fence, and they didn't really know, and I was like, well, why is that a bad thing? I mean, if you look at, and I remember I called them out on it. I was like, well, if you look at pop music right now, there's a ton of female artists that are theatrical, that are bringing back kind of like a glam pop kind of vibe. You know, they're real kitschy, and they're, you know, they have this shtick to them, and like Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, and it's happening slowly but surely, but you just don't see a lot of guys doing it yet.
well, when you walk in the room to sing for Simon and Paula and Randy, what is the feeling at that moment?
I was nervous. I was really nervous because there was so much building up and so much like depending on it. You know, I would put the pressure on myself. And I walked in there and sang Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life is just begun.
Yeah, I mean, tell me, they're saying Simon saying too theatrical?
Simon was kind of on, I could tell he was on the fence. He didn't really quite know what to make of me. And he would look away and listen to me without looking at me, which was an interesting thing. And Randy recognized, he said, you know, you are theatrical, but maybe this is the time for that finally. It was scary because that was right as everything was starting. That was right as the top 13 was being put into place. And I thought, oh, the timing on this is awful. Now everybody's gonna it's gonna be like Adam, the gay dude, who kisses dudes, and no one's going to pay attention to what I actually am here to do.